Hello, everybody. Welcome to Most Wanted Topics. I'm your host, Kevin Dennison, along with me, Atomic Tommy. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
We are broadcasting to you live from our studio at Most Wanted Comics here in beautiful Bloomington, Minnesota. And I tell you what, we have a lot to celebrate. Today is our 50th episode.
I know. It's a milestone, man. 50 episodes, 50 weeks.
I can't believe we've done 50 weeks of this already.
I know. It's crazy.
You know what? We've come a long way, though.
Yeah.
And we want to thank our customers. We want to thank that we now have over 100 subscribers. Wow. First goal met.
First goal met. Yep.
Now we just want to keep growing this thing and keep spreading a good word about Most Wanted Comics and all that it has to offer the community and anyone who wants to come and visit our great store. And speaking of our great store, one of the things we love to do at Most Wanted Comics is have events and have life experiences and nostalgic life experiences for that. And I got to tell you, we had a great signer this past weekend. We had the greatest Intercontinental Champion, legendary wrestler and Hall of Famer, the Honky Tonk Man.
It was a great weekend, man.
It was a lot of fun to meet him. He was here, and you know what was so cool about it? He took all the time with the fans. It wasn't just come in, pay your money, rush you through, get a signature, blah, blah. No, he answered questions. He talked. He interacted. He was such a cool guy to talk to.
Yeah. You know, a lot of good stories.
Oh, man, it was fun to hear the stories. And, you know, we've had really good luck with all our signers, from Jimmy Hart to Dontarius Thomas to Tom Cook to Keith Champagne to Tom. Everybody who's been, Brent Schoonover, Dave, everybody that's been Eric Burnham. They've all been top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch. We bring in the best guests, the best people. And, boy, I tell you what, anyway, the Honky Tonk Man was here. Check out the line for him. I mean, unbelievable. The line was out the door. We had a lot of people show. They were all happy. They were happy waiting in line. The store did well. He did well. Every other fans were very happy. And we want to say a special thank you to the Honky Tonk Man. Thank you for coming and joining us at Most Wanted Comics. We were happy to have you. And thanks for making the experience a great one for everybody. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Speaking of always having great signers, now we're going back to the comic book world here. August 24th, we have the legendary inker and artist for Marvel and DC, Keith Williams.
Yep. You'll know him from things like Web of Spider-Man. He did a big run of Web of Spider-Man. He's done Action Comics. He's done Transformers. You name it. He's been everywhere. He's dipped his toes in all the waters.
Oh, yeah. He's been around for a while, and you can see his picture. And I tell you what a professional, and we're happy to have. This will be the first time I've ever gotten the chance to meet him in person. Mm-hmm. A fan of his work, and I tell you here's what's cool, you guys. Not only is he coming out to sign autographs, but he will have original art with him, and he will have prints to sell. And other good news, maybe by the time he's here, because New Pain, our friend Keith Champagne at New Pain Productions, his sketchbook is getting printed with New Pain, so maybe his sketchbook will be done and out by the time he comes to Minnesota.
That'd be pretty sweet.
So no guarantees. We're hoping that that's a time frame where his sketchbook will be ready by the time. But if that's the case, well, that's going to be all hands on deck.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
And, sticking with New Pain for a second, if you haven't heard, they have an active campaign going for you guys and everybody who wants to go and support. Let me tell you what it is.
Please support them.
Please support them, and their work is top notch. Yep. I mean, these guys, one of their slogans is bringing top 2 talent to all of their work, and that couldn't be. I mean, that couldn't be more true.
No, and they have a whole universe already.
They have a whole universe, and this campaign, you get 2 things. It's the 2-in-1. You get the New Pain Challenge Jump number 2. If you haven't checked out Jump number 1, I highly recommend finding a way to get that, because that book is amazing. And Jump number 2 is going to be incredible as well. So you get that. But not only, it's the 2-in-1, so you also get the handbook, the official handbook to the New Pain universe.
It's got all their characters, yeah.
All the bios, you can learn about all their characters through this. It's a great campaign. Go support them. They're great guys. So,
yeah. And you know what? It's got Minnesota talent. It's got, Keith Champagne. You might as well. He has we call it second residence here in Most Wanted Comics, because he's family. So he comes to Minnesota quite a bit. But anyway, support our local Kickstarter program here with local talent like Tom Nguyen and Rob Miller and
Brian Double D.
Or Brian Double D, of course, yes. And I got to tell you what, we have all sorts of talent here, and we're happy that you guys are the greatest fan base. We know you're going to help support this Kickstarter program. Here's the link at the bottom. Take a look at it, support it. And let's move on. We've got a lot to talk about. In a little bit, we're going to catch up with the Mighty Mafu. Yesterday, I got a chance to interview him from the San Diego Comic-Con reveal from the Rattler. Because we're going to talk about that. We're going to show the interview I did with him yesterday in a little bit. But let's talk about comic books right now. What came out? Because this was a big weekend. Turtles #1 came out.
Yeah, no kidding.
This was just a big week all around.
Yeah, let's start with Turtles, man. What another banger from Jason Aaron. It's great. I mean, it just a fun read all around. It's Turtles. You can't really go wrong. It doesn't. For anybody looking to jump in on Turtles, this is a great point. It doesn't waste any time with the origin. You guys know the Turtles. It just throws you right into this new story and just allows you to have fun and read along. Turtles was great. Really,
it lived up to the hype.
It lived up to the hype. We don't really want, again, we don't like to spoil things, but it lived up to the hype. It was a great read, and the Turtles have made sort of a comeback in pop culture. If they ever left. With obviously the animated movie that came out last year. There's a lot of new Turtles fans, a lot of revived Turtle fans, and again, just a perfect time for sort of a reboot, a perfect time to get new readers in, and this was just a great book to do that.
And it's a bit of a gamble too, because it's a new creative team.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jason Aaron knows what he's doing.
Yep, he does.
I wouldn't, he's definitely not new to the industry.
No, but to the Turtles.
To Turtles, he is new, but I don't have any reason to, distrust Jason Aaron.
Jason Aaron's been putting on a lot. But yeah, what else came out this week?
Yeah, the other thing that I think we should talk about really quick is the EC reboot that came out this past week. A book that, you guys know I'm not too big of a horror fan. I don't read horror all that much. But EC stuff, EC is like, it's fun horror. It's nostalgic horror.
Classic horror.
It's classic horror. It's not like the, Annabelle, demon horror that I don't really like. But, EC is classic horror.
Creep show type stuff.
Creep show, yeah. I always good, I like the short story format. I like all that. And overall, the EC reboot wasn't bad. If you're looking for some fun horror, I'd recommend giving it a go. There are a few in here that are really cool, really good, and really are kind of thriller and do a good job, instigating those emotions. But there are a few of them that I do think are kind of silly, kind of stupid,
part of the point of them.
Part of the point of them. I think there are a few of them that might remind you of like a skit that might be in The Boys, or the Boys skit. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying some of them I like more than others. Some of them are kind of silly and stupid. But again, that is, I think, kind of the point. So all around, it was a great book. And I think, just give it a read. Try it out. I know that probably a lot of more modern or younger horror fans might naturally, attach to something like, The Nice House by the Sea, which also came out this past week by James Tynion. But, give classic horror a try.
Yeah, classic horror. It is a good attempt at classic horror, and I think if you're an old school horror fan, I think it's definitely up your alley.
Yeah, absolutely.
So give it a read. And what's coming up this week? Now, what's the new books coming out that we have to look forward to? Coming up
this week, we have a new Disney book, What If Donald Duck Became Wolverine? Man, I absolutely love that they're bringing back these Disney books. The Uncle Scrooge Infinity Dime was a lot of fun. Again, another Jason Aaron banger. This one, what Donald Duck Wolverine, just you can't go wrong with some ducks. You really can't.
And Wolverine.
Classic and Wolverine, a mashup for the ages. So we're gonna be checking that out. The other book coming out, keeping to the X-Men, tradition now. X-Force #1. I did not. I might have noticed that I did not talk about NYX this past week. That came out this past week. I just don't really have much to say about it, but we will probably be talking about X-Force. So I figured.
Well, that's a major one in the lineup.
Yeah, also a good way to give a break from the X-Men talks. I feel like we've been talking about X-Men for a month now. So, yeah, we'll be checking out X-Force. We'll be checking out Donald Duck. Checking it all out.
I'm looking forward to. Hey, you know what? Donald Duck has really kind of. It's funny in America how Donald Duck and stuff gets passed over by the comic book. But you go around the world. You go to Spain, you go to France, you go to Germany, you go anywhere in Europe, and everything's about Donald Duck.
Yeah.
They love Donald Duck. Japan, it doesn't matter where you go overseas. People love Donald Duck all over the world. People love Disney. But here, sometimes we take it for granted.
Yeah.
And so that character doesn't get enough, I don't know, popularity or enough credit maybe all the time.
Yeah, well, Donald Duck has been around for a long time.
He has.
He's been used
He's
for
iconic,
a long time.
yep.
You know, there's been generations of DuckTales, you know.
Yeah, but it's even different from DuckTales. DuckTales was a spinoff from,
But the point isn't DuckTales or not. The point is, like, Donald
right.
Duck has been around for so long that I think it's just, you know, it's part of American culture.
It is.
You know, and it's just...
Well, what I'm just trying to say, I'm not trying to debate, it's just good that it's coming out. Yeah. I'm just glad they're doing more stuff with it because it is part of American culture. It's like Superman.
Yeah.
You know, some people get tired of Superman, but he's an icon. He's been around he is comic books.
Yeah.
You know, it is what Donald Duck's a staple in comic books. So the old Disney comics, you know, what can you say? All right, if you like what you're seeing so far, make sure that you smash the like buttons. And also, if you like more content, make sure you smash the like button so you always get our new programs coming out. I want to give a shout out to Matt and JD, to Brian and Brian. I want to, of course, the Gossage family. How you guys doing? Caleb, Jimmy the Souser, who will be on next week because you guys are going to review the Deadpool movie.
Yeah, we're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine next week.
I'm going to be sidelined, and Jimmy the Souser is going to give his take along with Atomic Tommy on Deadpool, so you're definitely going to want to tune in to that episode. That should be a banger episode. Of course, Jim and Ryan, Mark, Crocker, Jennifer, Sheila, Shanice, Dan, shout out to all of you. Hey, we also wanted to say hi to Russell out there. Thanks for supporting us out there. And, hey, one more time, make sure to go to the Kickstarter for Jump for New Pain Productions. We're going to jump into the interview I did yesterday with the Mighty Mafu, and then we'll be right back after that. All right, we're back with the Mighty Mafu. How you doing, Mafu?
I am doing good, ready to talk about the latest G.I. Joe HasLab, and I'm really excited for this one.
You were all over it, right? Ready to watch the San Diego Comic-Con review and the reveal of what is to come. So let's talk about what they're making. They're making the Cobra Rattler.
Yeah.
We saw that. We saw the image. You can see it right behind us here, the Cobra Rattler. What do you think?
I think it is a killer toy because they added so much new stuff to it. I mean, they even added, so if you remember on the vintage toy, it could pivot its wings up. Yep. But this time, it could fold its wings in. So that is pretty sweet.
Yeah, so not only did it flap up, you could flip them up and inside towards the plane. So that, I mean, easy for storage because there's a bigger plane. There's a bigger plane, and it even has a stand to motion. You can either have it going down or up. Have it in flight. So there's an attack mode or takeoff mode. 2 figures. Possible 3.
So I'm going to talk about the tiers here really quick. So the first one just got unlocked. There were 3 patches. Don't know why they included patches.
Something for your jacket.
Yeah, something for your jacket. I do like the Cobra Rattler logo. Then the second one was one that I was actually predicting was a Cobra Tail Gunner.
That's awesome.
So I'm really happy that they finally got that. I guess Hasbro must have watched our latest episode and thought, you know what, let's just throw in that Cobra Trooper.
And they added the Baroness, too.
Yeah, in her blue jumpsuit this time. So, and with her toy accurate rifle, if you didn't catch that, toy accurate rifle. And the Wild Weasel figure, he has 2 different helmets. One that is clean, and then the other one that is battle damage, where one of his visors is completely shot.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're definitely going to fund the Rattler here. Most Wanted Comics. The Rattler was one of the coolest toys in G.I. Joe. It was on our top 10 list, of course.
Yeah.
When we did the toys back when, and then we're definitely going to have it now for the new classifieds.
Yeah, because now since they did the Rattler, now they have to do the Sky Striker.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan. Believe me, I'm not a huge fan of all this crowdfunding to have everybody. I just wish they'd make the toy and sell it.
Right.
But you know what? If that's the way they're doing it, it is still a pretty sweet toy, and I'm going to have one. So I'm definitely going to get behind it.
And they fixed the landing gear problem. That was an issue with the vintage toy and even with the 25th. Where this time it's spring-loaded.
It's just going to be cool to display with the figures. So, yeah, if you're a G.I. Joe fan and a classified fan, this is kind of a must-have for your collection, I think. Yeah. So, my take is that it's going to be a fun toy to have.
Yeah.
In the collection. So,
yeah. I didn't get to back the Hiss Tank or the Dragonfly. I wanted both of those. But now we get to get the Rattler. So
yeah, I think that'll be fun. Well, good take on the Rattler. We hope everybody enjoyed that little segment. If you're a classified fan, San Diego Comic-Con revealed the Rattler coming out, so get behind it if you want to.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mighty Mafu?
No.
All right. Next week we'll have another G.I. Joe topic to talk about, I'm sure.
Yep, we are going to be talking about the San Diego, the new reveals and the digital renders that were revealed there. But this week we just wanted to talk about the Rattler.
Cool, sounds good. Well, Mighty Mafu, we'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week.
All right. It always makes me excited to talk about the Cobra Rattler. It's one of my favorite toys for G.I. Joe. Classic G.I. Joe. We have the original Rattler, and I'm looking forward to backing this new one for the classified series.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I'm not really big on the whole big multi-million-dollar companies having, Kickstarters and fun, GoFundMe for their for their toys. They should make them and sell them. But you know what? It is what it is, and the fans want to back it more. I'm a fan of this model, so I'm definitely going to pay for it. I'm going to back it. I don't like the model that they're doing because I think they're big enough where they can put it out for the general public to buy, and they're going to make plenty of money. But hey, it's how they're doing it, and people are willing to do it. So that's the way it goes. So I'm all about getting the Rattler. I think it is a really cool piece. It's going to be fun to display in my man cave.
Yep,
in the man cave. It's going to be fun with the other classifieds. So super pumped for that. Anything else we got to talk about?
Yeah, we got to talk about the Marvel panel.
That's right, San Diego,
keeping on the San Diego Comic-Con topic, which, really the only reason to go to one of these things is, the panels, right? Yep, I think everybody wants to go for the panels, for the reveals. And this year did not disappoint for that. If you've been living under a rock and haven't heard the news, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom in Avengers 5. Yep, the revamped Avengers 5, what was previously Kang Dynasty, is now Avengers Doomsday.
And it made the comic book jump up $3 books overnight to $100 and $200 books.
It's probably some of the biggest, market influence I've seen from a Marvel movie in a very long time. Just on the scale and the speed of it. I mean, overnight, infamous Iron Man #1, a $10 book, just 48, 72 hours ago.
And I don't even think that Infinite Iron Man is going to be the one. I think the What If one has.
But that's not even the right book to spec on. But that's a whole nother thing. But that book, previously $5 to $10, is now like $100 plus.
Crazy.
And overnight. And the What If book, What If Iron Man, Demon in an Armor, which is really the, for going off just basic, info revealed and what we can assume, that probably is the book you'd want to be specking on because that is Iron Man becoming Doctor Doom. Yep. Whereas Infamous Iron Man is Doctor Doom becoming Iron Man, and we don't really know how that's going to play out yet. But even that book still, went from about $10 to $100 overnight.
Crazy.
Yeah, and it is really, really crazy. And
we haven't seen stuff like this since the first Avengers.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it throughout the Infinity Saga, especially leading up to like Infinity War, but after it ended, after Endgame, after that stuff, the spec market on Marvel movies kind of died out a little bit. I mean, it was still there, it was still going on.
Correct.
But nobody, I mean,
it was nothing like Avengers.
Everybody knew about it. It wasn't like some big secret that you had to get in on. Everybody knew it was happening. And I think just there was a divide. The speculators and you had the collectors and the people that didn't care. This feels like everybody kind of wants to jump in on this. And the price and again, just how quickly it happened is insane. But let's talk about the actual casting for a second. I've seen a lot of people kind of rag on it a little bit, and don't get me wrong. There are a lot of actors who could have played Doctor Doom. a lot of great actors that fans have been speculating on and theorizing on for years. But I think it's Robert Downey Jr., man. He is a Marvel icon, and he's coming back. And arguably, he's probably the best actor. The best actor in Marvel was and now is Robert Downey Jr. I mean, he can do this role. I know some people are saying that he can't do this role. You know, Iron Man was so quippy and funny. How can he play Doctor Doom? Well, again, he can act. And I don't think we've really seen...
Yeah, he's a pro actor.
I mean, if you saw him he's a pro actor. If you saw him in Oppenheimer, I think that's a pretty good indication that he can probably do a pretty good job as Doctor Doom.
Hello, Heart and Souls.
Yeah. Now, am I going to say...
That's an oldie for you guys. Look that one up if you haven't seen that one. And...
Yeah, it is an oldie. Now, am I going to say that he's the best choice for Doctor Doom? No, because we haven't seen him play Doctor Doom yet. So, I'm not going to knock on the casting. I don't think anybody... I don't think anybody's knocking the casting. And again, let's not forget that a lot of people knocked on Robert Downey Jr. being cast as Iron Man when that first came out, almost 20 years ago. Right?
That's a little too soon. It's only been out 24 hours, and if you're already having a poopy diaper over who's playing Doctor Doom.
Yeah. I don't know.
Come on.
I think it's early. I'm excited, and what a reveal that was, right? I mean, that was a big reveal that only Marvel could pull off. But if it really showed us anything in all of it, it showed us that, man, did James Gunn fumble the bag by not being there with a panel this year.
I think DC fumbled the bag.
DC fumbled the bag. James Gunn fumbled the bag. They all fumbled the bag over there. I mean, they had their logo reveal. Ooh, They had the Creature Commandos trailer, which, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for Creature Commandos, but still, ooh.
Creature Commandos is going to be good.
Creature Commandos will be cool, but, man, all that just got stomped by Marvel.
The air got sucked out of the room.
The air got sucked out of the room by Marvel. And, again, I think it's a tactical error because DC still has a lot to prove. James Gunn has a lot to prove, especially with what we've seen out of the Superman movie, from set photos to information about it. I mean, it's not, the fans are not unified behind the Superman movie. There's a lot of division with it. There's a lot of things that people don't like.
They're upset at the actor change. They're upset at the suit change. It's crazy.
People are still mad about Henry Cavill not being Superman. Yep. People are mad about the suits. I mean, look, if you guys have seen the Guy Gardner,
I'm one of those too.
I mean, if you guys have seen the Hawk Girl suit and the Guy Gardner suit, I mean, those are not great suits. I mean, they might look different in the final product, but they just don't look great. So I think, again, they still have a lot to prove at DC, and they gave Marvel this opportunity to just jolt themselves back to the top.
Yeah, if you're DC, you're thinking, again, what the hell are the executives thinking over there? You're at the San Diego is the largest place for anything comic book related media wise. Mm-hmm. And so if you're going to make a big announcement and you're going to start going after what DC's future is, San Diego's the place to do it.
Right. And I know that, they're going to be, I think James Gunn, he said that they're going to be there next year to really promote, the summer of Superman, I think is what they're calling it, because Superman comes out, I think, a year from now.
But
so they're going to be there next year.
You got to do it now.
Yeah, you can't take a year off just because, I mean, I get it. They're still making the film. I think they're sort of coming close to the end of filming, but, there's a lot you can talk about. There's a lot that James Gunn announced 2 years ago in that, video he put out where he ran through this first part of, the chapter that he can give updates on. We just got the news, I think last month, that they're green lighting lanterns, the officially green lighting lanterns, and that's officially moving forward. Where are we with that? You can talk about. Where are you with the Supergirl movie that, news has come out about it, but I think it'd be nice to hear it directly from James Gunn and the source.
I agree 100%. It should.
And again, allowing Marvel to just stomp on you guys like that, like, come on, like you.
I'm sure Marvel laughed. I'm sure Marvel say, "Really, DC's not even going to be here?" And
it was
they
definitely
sucked the whole momentum out of. If DC was hoping to have any momentum going into San Diego Comic-Con, it didn't happen.
The logo reveal was DC's big thing for San Diego. Revealing the DC Studios logo. Guess what? Nobody really cares. I have, guess what I've seen since San Diego? All I've seen on social media is the Doctor Doom, RDJ reveal.
Yeah, and all the speculation.
I have seen very little of the DC logo reveal. If they were banging on that, they seriously blundered.
Yeah, I mean, DC lit a bottle rocket, Marvel lit a Roman candle.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
come on. Now.
It's just unfortunate, but all around there was not everything in the panel was also there was also other stuff to that panel besides just Doctor Doom. They did give some updates on Fantastic Four. We got to see the cast together for the first time, which
Are
is
you
really
excited
cool.
for that?
Oh, I am hyped for Fantastic Four.
You're a Fantastic Four guy.
I love the Fantastic Four, man. Marvel's first family. They've never really been done proper on the big screen, and I think the MCU can do it right. Some people don't like the casting. Some people don't like Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Personally, I think he's fine. Everybody should calm down.
I think it's going to be okay.
I think it's going to be fine. Overall, I think the cast is great. And it was awesome to see the little Fantastic car on that panel flying through. That is awesome, man. The Fantastic car. We need that, And if anything, it's a sign that... And we had that little Galactus teaser, too. A couple days before the panel, they've had that little drone show with Galactus. So I think that this movie is going to be really good. It was nice to talk about. It was nice to hear about Thunderbolts. And it was obviously awesome to see the Russo brothers back. I mean, they really pull out all the stops to really suck the air out of the room. I mean, not only the Russo brothers, but RDJ. It was an insane panel.
Yep.
It was great. But, yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Well, cool. Well, hey, I tell you what, 50th episode in the books.
Yep, it's awesome. It's a big one.
Hey, big nucks there. 50th episode.
50th episode.
Thank you to the Mighty Mafu for being a contributor. Thank you for Jimmy DeSouza for being a contributor. Thank you for all the help. Thank you to Matt and JD for helping. I tell you what, Atomic Tommy, we're going to keep this ball rolling. We're going to keep the momentum rolling. Mark your calendars for August 24th because we got Keith Williams coming. Make sure you check him out. Make sure you support the Kickstarter program for New Pain Production and Jump number 2 with the handbook that goes into the universe and all their characters. And we want to thank all of you. Thank you for the customers for supporting Most Wanted Comics and helping us to keep all the fun events going. And we're going to keep providing great customer service, great back issues, great sports cards, great collectibles here at Most Wanted Comics. Make sure you check us out. Go to mostwantedcomics.com and make sure you check us out on Facebook, Most Wanted Comics MN. And with that, we'll see everybody next week.